Hello guys and welcome to SteveKnows. I want to go over my top 10 games that have been released over the past year. Some of these are in this list because of their uniqueness, for their impact in VR, because they were so much fun, but it's my personal list. If there are any games you believe deserve to spot here, please leave a comment down below to share it with the rest of the community. So enough chin wagging, let's get started. We are starting off with a creepy one, The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Retribution Chapter 2. What a long title. This game is a new release to one of the best games VR has to offer, and by some miracle, it's playable and looks half decent on Quest 2 mobile hardware. Granted, PC looks way better, but you get one of the most fleshed out games where you will embark on a journey within the zombie-infested town of New Orleans. This is a survival game, so you will have to manage your resources and scavenge to ensure that you have enough supplies on your missions to take out zombies or other humans who are in opposing factions. The game has a very large variety of weaponry that you can find around, like crossbows, hatchets, which, side note, is something I love about this game, bringing down that weapon into a zombie's skull and pulling them off your knife. A pretty surreal experience that only VR can offer. But you can also craft more creative items as well that you won't find around the map. If you played the first game, you can even import your save so you can continue your progress so you don't have to start from scratch all over again. The game is also cross-buy, so you can enjoy the high-end PC version for free once that's available, dropping early this year. Next is, why do people only care about blue? Because it's Red Matter 2. Starting with one of the most stunning games you will come across on the Quest platform, it can sometimes be unrecognisable to a PC VR game. Due to amazing optimization techniques that Vertical Robot have achieved to create high fidelity visuals and beautiful lighting where everything is so shiny. The world is also incredibly detailed and expansive. The first title is also a feat of genius, so if you've not played it, I do recommend diving into that one, as this is based after those events of the Cold War. This game at its core is a story-driven puzzler that provides you with some basic tools to interact with the world and a jet booster to traverse it. It is not a fast-paced experience, so don't go into this thinking it will be like Call of Duty, but it's incredibly immersive and engaging with a very thrilling story that is fitting to today's world climate. And did I mention, it's stunning? For sure, a game to unwind to and relax and escape the real world. Now a title that has a story like no other, completely unexpected, it's Gorilla Tag. So this is not a new title, but it has finally made its way to the official store, so it's being included as a 2022 release, since it's now accessible through official channels for more casual or newer VR gamers. G-Tag has surpassed the bar set by Beat Saber and has become one of the most rated and highly rated VR experiences around. It can help that the game is free, but it also does what few VR games manage to do, and that's create this blend between community and a fun game. So the original idea of the game was you're a monkey, not a monkey, a monkey, and you're in these worlds with other monkeys, and you play the game tag. But traversing is unique in this title. You don't use the joystick, you have to push off the floor and the walls with your hands. There is a learning curve here to grasping the way of the movement, and certainly make sure nothing is around you whilst playing this game so you don't hit anything. But now the game has expanded with many worlds to explore, many people to hang out with over 5 million users and tons of modifications. But if you are an older gamer, I would stay away from this one. Some people say they want a big strong man. Well, can you get any stronger than Iron? It's Iron Man VR. An unexpected drop on the Quest platform, a title that was a PlayStation VR exclusive, but got ported by Camouflage, or as I think they like to be called, Camouflage. It's a very decent looking experience and has one of the greatest opening missions. Plus, it satisfies many dreams that we may have had of being Tony Stark. The game offers you high-octane missions where it's just chaos, slower-paced training missions, suit customizations where you can adjust it for your style of play, and slower-paced interactive story moments in between the chaos. And what's great is that you live and experience the story instead of it just being fed to you. The blasters and the traversing also works by using gestures. This makes the game incredibly immersive, just like you would be in your Iron Man suit, and offering you an experience that only VR can offer. This was a great PSVR title, but on Quest, on a completely wireless system with much better tracking, it's right at home, it is beautiful. This next game is going to stop you spending any money, and I really enjoyed it as a multiplayer experience. It's Ultimax. This is free. We like free. And Resolution Games, a studio that always offers simple, fun experiences. They're easy to learn, but hard to master, which always leads to addictive gameplay. This free multiplayer is the Quest's answer to Rocket League, where you can play in a team or solo against other players around the world, and you have to get the ball into the opponent's goal. Simple. You do this by moving between static locations around the map and firing your arms, which act like rockets, and you can control them in their flight path to get different angles on the ball to make sure it goes in a certain direction. Or you can place a temporary block in front of the ball to stop it in its tracks, which is very handy for defending. As I said, this game is free, so why not? I've heard of a physics lab. I've heard of a chemistry lab. But what about Bone Lab? Now this is a title of controversy, but at least it got the community engaging again and it lit that fire under so many of our asses. This was a great time for VR debates, but aside from that, the game, which seems to be very Marmite, you either love it or you hate it, is actually a triumph to be on the Quest platform. It offered one-to-one physics to the PC VR version, and it also looked fantastic for the Quest. Granted, it was downgraded, but for the Quest, it was surprisingly good. In Bone Lab, you start off with your own body, completing puzzles and getting involved in combat, but then you start to unlock different body types, and since this is a physics-driven experience, it completely changes how you move and feel in VR, and it's really quite interesting. Going from a guy that's clearly around 500 pounds to a waifu, how many games can you say do that? This game also officially supports modifications, so once you complete the game or you're sick of the arena-like experiences in the hub, you can try out some of the community-made content. I do think this game was great, but maybe not the first thing you should try when getting into VR. Try find your VR legs first, but then it's well worth it. If you've been on this channel before, you know I'm a huge fan of retro-like experiences. I think they work so well on the Quest, and this one is at the top of that list. Compound. This game was available a while back when the Quest 1 was around on Steam in early access, but recently the game got ported to the Quest platform and this is a welcome addition, especially when that era was packed with great games. So this is a retro-inspired title, which is obviously a dead giveaway when you look at the visuals. They are very detailed, but pixelated as well. Compound is a roguelite title with randomized levels where you are trying to take down an evil corp to stop them releasing a virus. How fitting. It has a decent variety of environments, weapons and enemies, so you don't ever get to a point of boredom and monotony. And it may remind you of a less brutal Doom. It is such a well-polished experience on the Quest headset, and good, simple, sometimes violent, fun. Just check out the reviews for yourself. People are raving about this game. Thankfully, this game was made before they had run out. We have got the last Clockwinder. So I added this game because it brought something else to the Quest ecosystem. It is a puzzler, and puzzlers often get dismissed, but in virtual reality, where you are fully immersed and engaged in the problem you are facing, they are actually really rewarding. So The Last Clockwinder offers a unique mechanic that only VR gaming can truly offer. So you are trying to complete puzzles by creating what I'm going to call a production line, to put it simply, of different actions that you have created and are then repeated. So you will do something like place a fruit in the chute for one avatar, and it will do that over and over again, while you then move on to do something else with another, and then you have to work with yourself collaboratively. A really interesting concept, and you have to start thinking fourth dimensionally about your actions to achieve your goals, which is quite a nice life lesson. This was a little gem that filled me with joy when it released. It's a Japanese RPG-inspired title that has a cel-shaded art style, which works so well on Quest. The lines are really sharp, the colours are bold, and it looks just like a PC VR experience. It offers 25 story-driven missions where you can unlock and use 16 magical abilities, along with armour upgrades and shield upgrades, to give a sense of progression. To me, this has been compared to the style of Breath in the Wild when Link visits some of those shrines. When you enter those shrines, that sort of visual, that's what this game is like. But it's not all combat. There are puzzles in this game as well, which is a great change of pace. There is combat, puzzles, and story. The game also offers a free trial, so you can actually go and play this right now without spending a penny and see how you feel about it. But this is a title that made Steve smile. Now a title that was a huge sponsor for virtual reality, and it's NFL Pro Era. This is on my list because I saw this as such a huge win for VR, and it was so well implemented. I was shocked that we got an officially sponsored, NFL-sponsored sports game for American football. This includes real teams where you get to play as the all-star quarterback. Although I am British, this isn't my thing, I can appreciate its impact and importance for many. So you can select plays and act them out to score your touchdowns and run down the field swinging your arms to move and deepen the immersion as the crowd screams. The game actually looks half decent as well, and it doesn't give me that feeling of this was made just to be a cash grab. And if you're bored of playing American football, it does include other game modes as well, like dodgeball. There aren't too many sports games around unless you like playing tennis, so this was a welcome addition, and I see it as a huge VR win. So that's it from me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. Hopefully there was something there to tickle your fancy, perhaps a game you've not experienced before. But that was my list that I chose based on uniqueness, impact on VR, and my own personal preferences. So as I said, please comment down below something you believed that deserved a spot here that I missed out, and I'm sorry for that. Please consider subscribing, and have a great week. Happy gaming, guys. Good day!